What up, YouTube? Elleix, come back at you with another custom StarCraft 2 cast. Today we have yet again another 1v1 matchup featuring the Scion Custom Races Mod, which adds 3 new playable races to the StarCraft universe. Today we have a mirror matchup featuring the Genetron. So let's go ahead and introduce our players. Spawning on the bottom right-hand side of the map, it's our blue Genetron player Stassin going up against his opponent. Spawning on the top left-hand side of the map, it's our red Genetron player Kytrion. Both of these players are good StarCraft 2 players, and Stassin specifically, I know, has a lot of experience with the Scion Custom Races Mod. We're starting a little bit ahead because it was a little slow for the first few minutes, and I want to jump right into the action here. Both players have expanded in the natural base location, and a couple blitzers here from Stassin chillin' at the front door for Kytrion's natural. Meanwhile, Kytrion going for the Torrent. The Torrent is more of an anti-air unit, but it does have a Luna Mine, which is basically a flying Widow Mine. It is super cool. I'm sure we'll see it in action. If you're new to my channel, I do cast a lot of custom StarCraft 2 content featuring multiple mods. So if modded StarCraft 2 is something you're interested in watching more of, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Back to the show here. More blitzers on the way for Stassin. Looks like Stassin is prepared to go for some aggression here. Both players still on 2 bases. Stassin kind of splitting up his army a little bit, but Kytrion moving out. And these blitzers immediately on the run. This is a lot of stuff, to be fair, from our red Genetron player. The mole on the back of this kind of walking spider right here, is our siege tank equivalent, but it does not attack when it's unsieged. It burrows up, and then it does damage here. The mole going a little too far forward, but surviving, doing some splash damage. And the Torrents on the back of this still not deploying their Luna Mines. The Spitfire here, kind of like our Marine equivalent, but the red army is getting whittled down slightly, and there are the Luna Mines that I was talking about, but they are very slow moving. So Kytrion has to move back to get these things to engage, and here we go. A big hit on those fixers. The fixer, the medic equivalent for our Genetron race, or I guess faction. But a big pull of workers here, forcing Kytrion to run away. Wow, a lot of action. I'm always stoked to see it. The Luna Mine landing on top of that blitzer. One fixer here with a kill did survive. A couple more Luna Mines being placed. How many kills does this Torrent have? 2 kills. The Spitfires, I think, trying to bait this blue army into the Widow Mines. Oh, but moving to the right. Oh, okay. Almost taking out this blitzer, but the blitzer with the triple fixer support will most definitely survive. We have more red units running across the map. Non-stop action here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, yep, that mole will definitely go down, moving a little bit too far forward. Let's take a look at the workers killed. Despite all this aggression, only 1 worker killed by the red player. Let's take a look at the resources lost as well. Virtually identical, 1,800 to 1,500. Both players going for a 3rd base as well. This base already finished. Taking a look at the worker supply, 45 to 46. Slightly in favor for the blue player, but really nothing too crazy. Oh no, another mole. Is this just okay? Yeah, I think yep, it's rallied. That was my suspicion. So it's literally just rallied towards the blue side of the map, and that is why we have or why we saw, I should say, 2 moles that did go down. But base number 3, pretty well protected, actually going for the double expansion. So our red player technically on 4 bases, although base number 4 isn't really mining yet. Some movement here from the blue units as well. What a show. Stassin feeling very confident here. Kytrion with the mole on the back. These moles just cannot catch a break. But they are very good units, so used properly, they can do a lot of damage. We also have a kind of a sneaky position of blitzers here that have not been spotted yet. They are going incognito, man. They're like, if we don't move, maybe they will not see us. Now, the Fixer, I should mention, if you're not familiar with the Scion Custom Races mod, although the Fixer is kind of like your medic equivalent, it does attack as well, so it can be used offensively. Okay. So, oh, for a second I thought we saw a worker go down, but no, I think we saw a Spitfire go down. So the Blitzers getting some damage in and actually surviving. Not bad at all. And by the way, if you're not familiar with the Scion Custom Races mod, the Genetron are fully mechanical. There's no biological units to speak of. The sort of canon that I saw about it was they are like an AI race developed by the Terran. So that's why they look like the Terran, but it's also why they're fully mechanical. Anyway, they are very, very cool to watch. They build things a lot more like the Protoss as well. Anyway, a lot of action here at base number 3. These Fixers working so hard to keep this single Blitzer alive. That is wild. Eventually, it does go down. Oh, man. And, you know, if the Fixers don't have anything to heal, like I said, they can be used offensively. Now, the Insider is a really cool unit. It can jump cliffs, and it shoots these missiles that do kind of like AoE damage, and yeah, I think overtime damage as well. They also jump and do damage when they land. They are a sick unit. We don't see them used too often, if I'm being honest. But yeah, they set things on fire. And yeah, the splash damage is crazy. The Insiders jumping away, getting a little bit overwhelmed by this blue army. Stassin with the Blitzer play. He is going for Blitzers, Fixers, and it looks like at least one mole for the time being. Not bad at all. And some movement here as well. It looks like Kytrion maybe doesn't feel like engaging that blue army directly, but the movement here by Stassin, great game sense, realizing, okay, I should probably move my army somewhere more strategic than the kind of top middle side of the map, because his stuff is kind of more in the middle side of the map, not the top middle side of the map. And this is what I mean about the Fixer being an offensive unit. This thing has 5 kills, eventually will go down, but 5 workers killed at this point in the game by our blue player. Non-stop action. This is crazy. And so many Blitzers. I love the mono builds. I feel like Stassin tends to play this way. This is more his style. Once he picks a unit, that is the unit he's kind of attached to for the majority of the game. A couple moles here, moving up with some Blitzer support, and a multi-pronged attack looks like is in the works here. These ACRs are SCV equivalents running away. Now, what you're seeing here is the processor, I believe, regenerating energy for these units, but the Genetron do have a shared energy pool that is kind of generated from generators, buildings, and nodes, which are your supply depot equivalent. Anyway, these Insiders are doing a lot of work against these Blitzers, though. 16 workers killed total this game by our blue player, 1 worker killed by our red player. Kytrion with the Vertices as well, though. The Vertis, a really cool unit. This thing can heal on the spot, but when it does trigger its heal ability, it is stationary and it cannot attack, and that once again takes from the shared energy pool. So if you don't have enough energy in that shared energy pool, you cannot use it, and unfortunately in the replay overlay, we do not have access to see how much energy each player has. But you can see the energy on the units individually at the very least. Base number 3 here, under fire by our red player. We see a lot of movement here by the blue player to come and defend against this. It looks like this processing core or command center equivalent may go down, and I think it will. Now, what I would do in Kytrion's position is run away right after that. And yes, that is exactly what he's doing. 3 more workers killed in that engagement. So a total of 4 workers killed by our red player to 18 by our blue player. And it looks like Stassin deciding to relocate this base to the bottom side of the map and also replace this one, actually. So he's going for kind of a double expansion. This is a pseudo double expansion because this one was lost. Kytrion expanding, also Taking a look at the worker supply, 80 workers to 74. Army supply virtually identical. Actually identical now, 79 to 79. Almost a very, very funny number. Okay, and the Hornets here. The Hornet, an anti-ground unit, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yup, fast anti-ground fighter that excels against armored targets. So kind of like a Banshee, but it does not cloak. This is just straight up an anti-ground unit, and it's going for the base on the top corner of this map. So Stassin going for a little bit of economic damage himself. The Badger here, the tier 3.5 unit, basically your capital ship for the Genetron. They have been spotted by Stassin, and Stassin going once again for the multi-pronged attack. Base number 4/3 going down. Kytrion coming in for the defense. Meanwhile, the Hornets in the main base as well. My palms would be so sweaty right now, and I would probably just GG out at this point. I've said it multiple times. I do not work well under pressure. Kytrion, though, able to clean up this army here by Stassin. These Hornets are still alive, but they are being pushed away by the Avenger, which is kind of like the anti-unit for the Hornet. This is an anti-air only unit, plus the Badger, which does do better against ground units, but it does shoot up and down. Taking a look at the army supply, relatively even, but in favor for our red player, 73 to 62. I've had not a single moment of rest this game. You guys are wild. And here we go. These units, I believe those were the Hornets, going down. I did not get a good look at them because I was looking at other parts of the map. The Blitzers here destroying this base. I don't even know what number it is. Taking a look at the workers killed, 49 workers killed by blue to 4 by red. You guys are putting on an absolute beast of a game for us to watch right now. And the fixers for Kytrion able to heal this processing core. So, although this is the medic, because everything is mechanical, including buildings, the fixers can kind of repair things. So you don't necessarily need your ACR, which is your SCV equivalent, to repair buildings, which is kind of awesome. Big engagement here. It looks like the army composition looking very similar. A bit more blitzer heavy on Stassin's side, but we have the Badgers. No fixers here, but we did have fixers. The equalizers as well in the mix for the blue player, but Kytrion starting to come out ahead despite losing more workers. We're at 93 army supply to 67. Worker supply is in favor for Stassin, which would check out, but a lot of these ACRs are being destroyed. 17 workers killed in this engagement. 50 workers killed total by blue and 23 by red, but now we're seeing, I want to say, kind of a critical mass of Badgers, and the Badgers, look at how much damage they're doing to all this stuff. Yeah, they have support, but I mean, yeah, the Badgers are doing so much damage. This is an Olympus shot. This is basically our nuke equivalent, and yep, there it is. It does damage over time. That is a building called the Olympus. I'll be sure to point that out for you guys later if we can find it. But there's so much action right now. I kind of want to keep an eye on this army. What do we have here? We have a Badger here with 6 kills. Has killed 6 workers. 53 workers killed by red at this point. So the worker supply killed has evened out despite the big difference in the earlier game. And the Badger does have a shell ability, which gives it a little more tankiness. That does pull from the shared energy pool, though. And here we go. Looks like the 3rd/4th base location will be under fire. Some Avengers from Stassin, though, which are anti-air, will be able to do a lot of damage potentially to these Badgers, but I don't know if this is just too much stuff for the for the blue player to deal with from the red player. 13 more workers killed in this long-going engagement. And here we go. These Badgers kind of stacking up, going against the Avengers here from the blue player. Is it enough for Stassin, though? It looks like it might not be. And also, we have more workers going down. 31 workers killed. Stassin throwing out the GG, giving the victory to Kytrion. What a sick 1v1 custom Scion Races matchup. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, please consider shooting me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.